Welcome back. With us right now from the South Orange County Community College District is Trustee Tim Jemal, and it's good to have you here today, sir.
Good to be here.
We've got a lot to talk about, but I've got your slides that were sent over. What we're going to talk about, though, along with this, is we're going to get into KSBR. We'll get to that in just a moment, because there's a change that we were kind of surprised about. We didn't know, but apparently it's been in the talks for quite a while, right?
Yeah, there have been negotiations for up to about 5 years now between Saddleback College and Cal State Northridge to figure out a way that the two stations could work together, because they're on the same frequency. So oftentimes, even if when you're in South Orange County, you'd hear KCSN, which is the Northridge broadcast, and when you're up in LA, sometimes you'd hear KSBR.
Right.
And it was, in many areas, it was patchy. I have an office in Santa Ana. I get to Santa Ana and I couldn't hear KSBR. All I heard was static.
Yeah.
So they're both on 88.5, and the idea was, instead of reaching 1.5 million people each, let's harmonize our efforts, create joint programming, have one super frequency, and we can reach up to 10 million people in Southern California. So that's the idea behind it. You know, the negotiations, I think, were off and on for a few years. The public was not, you know, although we discussed it at board meetings, I don't think it was well known. You guys just found out about it
well, we were wondering,
weeks ago.
Yeah, we play that music, KSBR in the background during our message board and things like that. And it was primarily jazz of different variations. And just the other day, I think it was yesterday, we're like, what? We must have the wrong station. Did we not tune this right? And we were trying to figure it out. But it's KCSN.
KCSN, KSBR, and both, they're maintaining their identities. If you listen, they say this is KCSN, Cal State Northridge, and then after that follows, they'll announce it's KSBR, Saddleback College.
Okay.
And the idea is to create joint programming that has, the music has changed somewhat. I'm sure you noticed that. And I think it's evolving. I'm not sure the programming is still set. I still think they're going to figure it out. There's a big event coming up in LA on October 23rd to announce this new effort. Okay. Sheryl Crow is going to headline it on October 23rd at the Fonda Theater in LA. So if you're available that night, we could try to get you a ticket, Ken.
All right. Yeah, and this is, by the way, this is not something that's unusual. This happens a lot with AM stations just in general, and still to this day there's certain AM stations, they'll give you their call sign and it'll be 2 or 3 sometimes, and just depending where you're at.
Right. I mean, there are many of us, myself, that love the old KSBR format. I like jazz. Yeah. Smooth jazz in the morning and in your rush hour traffic is very soothing. But I'm looking forward to the new format, and if we can reach more people, all the better, and get our students more involved. I think that's part of it as well, to integrate the programs and the studies into the radio efforts. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, very good. Now let's get into what's going on in Saddleback College, and with the Emeritus Institute, there's an estate planning workshop coming up on October 14th.
So I don't know if you've gone through estate planning. Recently, my wife and I have gone through many different iterations of estate planning for mostly unfortunate reasons.
Yeah.
And having the knowledge of how to go through that process is invaluable.
Right.
Because there are a lot of different options that are available to you. And if you're not informed to make these decisions, oftentimes you may feel pressured or rushed or unsure and make the wrong decision.
Yeah,
so
very helpful.
I should have gone to it. I still may go to it.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that, and right now, of course, they're looking at different tax rules that may or may not come into play.
Well, they're floating the idea that the Trump administration is floating the idea of eliminating the estate tax, which is the so-called death tax, the inheritance tax. I'm doubtful it's going to be entirely eliminated. When George Bush took office, the son, I mean, that was one of his main goals, and it didn't happen.
Right.
There have been lapses. There was that one period, I think, in the early 2000s when the law had elapsed. And there was a 6-month period that, unfortunately, if someone happened to pass away during that period, there was no tax, and then Congress enacted new estate tax legislation.
Right. However, we had a financial person the other day, And really, you got to be at a certain level of millions of dollars before that tax comes in. So for the average person, it's not going to affect them one way or another.
No, it doesn't kick in, I think, till after a couple $1 million.
Yeah.
So you're right.
All right, now over at Irvine Valley College, the Emeritus program is having their Orange County Fair Ribbon winners. So these are students?
Well, no, I think the instructor has submitted some of her work that's gotten recognized, and I think the illustration here is that some of the students have submitted and been recognized.
Yeah.
So it's not my area of expertise at all, but I'm impressed that the instructor and students have both been recognized, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah, they do. Of course, it's the Orange County Fair that we're talking about, and other fairs really in the area. This one's Orange County Fair, but some of them may put things in. You can put them in for other places as well, and they were awarded, as you can see there.
Right.
Very good.
It's excellent.
Yeah, it's really nice. Now, you got a new president over at Saddleback.
Yeah, this is a big deal. As you probably know, Todd Burnett was president of Saddleback College for 9 years, and he has moved on. He's now at Chapman University, or Brandman University, which is part of Chapman University. He's a vice chancellor over there. And we did a national search over the past year, and we have voted and approved on Gregory Anderson, who's from the San Mateo Community College District.
That's where I went.
Is that right?
Well, I'm from San Mateo.
All right.
Yeah, so I mean, many years ago.
We'll have to get him on here.
That would be really neat. Yeah.
He's got big shoes to fill. I mean, Todd did a tremendous job in a lot of different areas, and Dr. Anderson, made it through a very tough pool, very competent pool. And it was a very rigorous search on a national basis. We held several public forums on the Saddleback College campus. We had private conversations with him. He had interviews with different stakeholder groups, the Faculty Association, the Academic Senate, and he made it through. And that's no small feat, but he's got a big job ahead of him. Saddleback College is a flagship college, as well as IVC. But there are challenges as well.
Yeah.
We have enrollment challenges to keep up try to keep enrollment steady. As you probably know, there have been declining enrollments, not just at community colleges, but other higher education institutions, K through 12 districts. We got to keep the quality of the education up and keep enrollment steady. So I think he's up for the job, and it's his first time being a president of a college. He was a vice chancellor up at San Mateo in your old school.
Yeah.
And he's making a big move from NorCal to SoCal.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to meet him, although he doesn't start until October 16th officially, his first day on campus. So we'll give him a few months, maybe into next year.
Yeah,
we'll get him on, and
we'll crack the whip.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun, and that's a good. CSM's a great college up there. That's beautiful college, actually. I think it's interesting, both Saddleback and probably CSM, College of San Mateo, are situated in areas and on land and property they would never be built there today because they are too valuable land. Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's like prime real estate up there. So
both are in ideal locations.
Yeah, they really
the developers could get their hands on them.
Oh, yeah, believe me, neither place would be built today at those places. Now, ATEP, the Advanced Technology Education Park, the Orange County Business Journal, and Tustin's 90th anniversary, and where this was located, by the way, is the former. It was a Marine helicopter base, right? Yeah. And of course, the hangars, a couple of the hangars are still there.
They are.
Which they use often for a lot of filming, for a lot of different things like television and films and a lot and other things as well. And this is where ATEP is located. And I'm looking at the design for the new buildings coming in. Absolutely wonderful.
The IVC new building, Irvine Valley College, is in the process of building the first building on the ATEP campus. So there's 65 acres there approximately. And what's exciting about this advertisement is that we're now being very proactive after years of conversations and discussions, and negotiations with the city of Tustin, a land swap that made our campus contiguous.
Right.
We're now fully open for business. 49% can be with commercial partners, though we're being selective. And it's one of the most talking about a desirable land.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is really a greenfield effort because there's no remodeling that's going to have to take place. Every structure that's going to be erected is brand new.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And so we're very actively reaching out to potential business partners, nonprofit partners, to work with us either in programming. Some of them have needs for commercial buildings, but whatever we do there, we're trying to make sure it's integrated into what students are doing in terms of their programming and the curriculum.
Now, I know I've asked you and other trustees this as well, and in fact, when you look on the slide here, you see IVC and Saddleback, these two different buildings, but as far as the curriculum goes there, does it matter which school you go to? Is it kind of a joint effort between the two campuses?
Yes.
Okay.
It doesn't matter which school. They have different program focuses.
Okay.
Like IVC is focused more on technology and advanced manufacturing when it comes to ATEP.
Yeah.
Whereas Saddleback College is focused more on health sciences, healthcare.
Okay.
And which makes sense because of the renowned nursing program that Saddleback College has.
Right. Right.
So
you just got a new science building down there.
We did.
Right?
We just dedicated a new sciences building. It's a wonderful place. So this is very exciting. We've actually added additional resources. We've hired a staff member for the sole purpose of developing public-private partnerships at ATEP and across the campus.
I think it's going to be really, the way this is being set up, I think this is what you're seeing going on in the future for really other community colleges around the nation. I think they're going to look at this. But,
not just community colleges. I was in San Diego Monday and Tuesday for a major national conference on public-private partnerships in higher education.
Yeah.
So we had examples across the country, both private institutions, public, community college, four-year universities, talking about how do we bring in private partners in a way that maintains our integrity as an institution, but also adds value to the students.
Right.
And I mean, and there was a lot of great ideas that I had, and I think ATEP is along the lines of moving forward on this very concept of public-private partnerships, because there are risks that the private sector can take that we as a public institution would not, but financially it has to make sense for both sides.
Yeah, and not only that, the private partnership can also have a direct connection to internships.
Right.
And kind of getting the students prepared for taking that next step. There are going to be some students, especially in the tech field, that maybe a 2 or 3 year program is all they really need to take that next step. You know, the way things are nowadays, if they have the skills.
Workplace learning is a very significant development in this country. And we've talked about internships for years. But now it's actually started to manifest itself really into reality, where it's not just internships now, we're talking about apprenticeships where you actually spend a long period of time in the workplace. The tech apprenticeships, I think, is associated with older industries, right?
Yeah.
Which is still relevant. But in the tech sector, it's really taken off on a national level, and I think ATEP could be a place where we could, if with the right partner, I mean, it could be an incredible opportunity for our students that are on that campus.
Yeah, it could be. And
wish I was a student.
Yeah, apprenticeships, which go back hundreds and hundreds of years, really were a way. They're almost a paid learning in a way. They weren't made. A lot of times, if you go way back to some of the trades, they may not.
You talk about welding. And some
they
of the
may not have been,
trades.
Paid so a lot, but what they were given was free training in a sense, and a stipend or something.
And it's an area that where the U.S. government is actively involved.
Yeah.
There has been funding that's come out of the Department of Labor to actually pay for these apprenticeships, because historically employers hated going through the government apprenticeship program because of the paperwork.
Right.
So difficult to do the reporting. And now what's happened is some intermediaries are being created to make it that the only job of the employer is to take the apprentice, integrate that person into the workplace, train and manage them, and get them the experience they need.
Yeah. Saddleback College are having their big band concert coming up on Friday, not this Friday, but a week from this Friday on the 13th at the McKinney.
I think of, a top hat, a tuxedo, and dancing the night away.
Yeah.
When I think of big bands, and I think I can actually make this concert, and I'll probably be there. Although McKinney, I'm not sure if there's not. Have you been to McKinney?
Yes.
It's hard to dance in the aisles there,
It is.
but maybe we can open up the stage a little bit that night.
Yeah. Yeah. The McKinney's a great venue, not a huge venue,
No.
but it's a really nice venue. So yeah, you'll find a place to dance, I'm sure. Also at Saddleback College, the Trojan Women. Now, what is this all about?
I think it has to do with the women of Troy after the city had fallen.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think
Sounds like an HBO series.
could be an HBO series, but I think you see this even today when
Yeah.
there's conflict, and it tends to involve more of the men
Yeah.
than the women. And we see this contemporaneously, although this is a historic event, where women have to take on a leadership role that they otherwise would not have taken, and I think it should
Right.
be a fascinating production.
Yeah, certainly happened in World War II.
Happened in World War II, it's happening in conflicts all over the world.
Yeah, that'll be good. Then back at IVC, the 9th annual Midnight Blue Concert.
Yeah.
This will be the 21st on Saturday.
And I think this is just a performance from our students. So you're going to have a different set of musicians, different kinds of music, and I mean, the energy that the students bring to these kinds of performances is awesome.
Yeah.
So I mean, I personally like seeing the students perform. It's a little more raw,
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun.
but it's very exciting, a lot of fun.
Yeah, and fun for them as well. Also at IVC coming up at the end of this month will be West Side Story.
One of my favorite musicals, West
Yeah.
Side Story.
Yeah, I was just
And
thinking about
the
that.
Jets
the
and the
other day.
Sharks.
The Jets and the Sharks, yes.
We are the Jets all the way
Yeah.
from our first cigarette till the last dying day.
That's right.
You know that.
Henry Mancini, right? I think he was the writer. Did he write some
No,
of the music?
it was, wasn't Henry Mancini.
Oh, it wasn't? Okay. I thought he wrote not the lyrics, but the music, but I might be wrong. I do know
No.
that it came out in the 1960s.
In the 60s.
Yeah. It was huge. That movie was huge. It was a play first, obviously.
Yeah, and then it's obviously an ongoing
Yeah.
Broadway musical. And
Yep. And this will be good. This will be coming up the 27th, 28th, and actually all the way the end of October, the first week of November. So if you want to check that out at the Irvine Valley College main
Natalie
stage.
Wood was the
Natalie
lead
Wood.
actress in West
Yes, it
in the
was.
movie production.
Yeah, the movie. Yeah, very young Natalie Wood. So that's what's going on in the South Orange County Community College District. And as we started with, if you listen to KSBR, you'll hear some different music.
88.5 KSBR, KCSN, KSBR.
And I think things will, like you said, will change a little bit. We'll see what the format ends up. Might be a little bit of everything.
Seems that way so far,
Yeah.
Base. I'm going to go listen to it on the way out of here.
All right.
See what's going on.
Very good. Tim, good to see you.
Ken, great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I look forward probably in a few months to get the new president on. That'll be fun to talk to.
Sure, even sooner.
Yeah. Yeah, when he's ready, we'll be ready.
Very good.
All right, very good. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
We'll be back. Bye-bye.